I'm your host, Lo, and this is Micdropsundrip, the show where we drop truth and speak light into you. This is the show for those ready to awaken to their full power, live from love, bask in golden divine light, embody abundance and divine wealth. Drop into your heart and feel it all in your body. You can watch on YouTube or listen on all podcast platforms. Here we go. Oh, and one more thing. You have a spark of the divine in you. Act accordingly. Cosmic drops, bae.
It's
Part
time to
two.
drop it like it's hot.
Oh, let me get the microphone. Wow, here we are, part two, bae. I'm very excited. Look how gorgeous you look.
Like how gorgeous you look. I can't. I had to go put on makeup to catch up with you.
I love you. We're both entering Taurus season in the Taurus vibe, which is basically I don't work. I'm gorgeous. I love money. I love sex. I love pleasure. I love home. I don't need to talk much. Tauruses don't like to talk really. They enjoy being and feeling and touching. Okay. So here we are. Welcome to May.
Welcome to Taurus season. This is the time and right in time for the Taurus new moon, sensuality, pleasure. Tauruses can talk, but like not too much. You know, it's kind of like if you take a microdose of psilocybin, you're like, I'd rather just look at the flowers, really feel my food, feel my pleasure points. Yeah.
You don't need to talk. I'm telling myself that. I'm going to talk a lot less. I say that now. And then my Sag Leo's like, say what?
I know. I'm on my Gemini moon's like, we love to talk. What are you talking about?
Taurus itself, but not mixed with other. Oh,
with
yeah.
Leo, Gemini, Sag. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, hello. Welcome to Cosmic Drops. We just get right into it because we besties here, as you all know from our first episode, which people loved, cried laughing. They were very informed. April, oh Lord, we'll start with talking about April a bit because, okay, life has changed forever. Thank you, April 2025. But please remind everybody who you are, what you do, and how they can work with you first.
Yes. So I am Natalie Holbrook. I am a professional astrologer. I'm also a sales and business coach, and I combine astrology and sales and business coaching together in my program called Holy Wealth. I also do one-off sessions if you're like, hey, I know something is off in my business or I'm really ready to level up. We go in, we dive in for 90 minutes. You get a whole recalibration of your business through aligning with the stars and through all of my magic through sales and marketing and business and socials, and a lot of channeling happens. Let's just call it that.
She's so powerful, y'all. I am just so excited for all that you're doing and all that you're teaching because I always felt like you embodied the codes of wealth. And to me, focus group of one, but someone who's known you for like 7 years, you embody codes of definitely lioness, wealth, but also like gentleness and compassion and like curiosity because of that Gemini moon, like intellectual, curious, but you are just really so playful at the end of the day. And I feel like this next season that we're heading into with May is really going to ask all of us to like lighten up, take things less seriously, and just play more and be the children that we are inside. And so before we get into May and Taurus season, which we're currently in, that obviously starts in April, talk to me about April 2025 because now the energy passed, right? Transparently, we're recording this on April 25th, so it's basically over. And oh my God, I will just say in a few words, April, a whole new timeline in my life kicked off April 1. And what's funny is on March 31st, I was guided to do a whole like closing ceremony of 2020 to 2024, which really technically ended March 31st. Okay. And I was called to like, you're gonna laugh so hard, but they made me, the guides, they made me make a birthday cake and I did my wishes for my new timeline.
That's incredible.
I made like a cake. I'm not kidding, guys. I recorded myself.
What kind of cake?
It was funfetti.
Yum. I love
my inner
funfetti.
child loves funfetti. It's something I had when I was young for my birthday. Yeah. So I made a funfetti cake. It was like very inner child wishes. And I'm
Oh,
starting to channel more about the energy of wishes and wishing, like quite literally giving your wishes to the divine to grant. And the whole ceremony I had to do to basically confirm and with my free will tell the divine, these are my wishes, please grant them. And like, divine universe, call it God, whatever. And they're unfolding right now.
holy shit.
Boo.
Yeah.
Candles, I had to blow them out. I'm channeling. I didn't know I was going to tell this today. I guess it's coming out. So,
Yeah, we need to.
April, all in all, I have taken advantage of the energy because boy, Neptune and Aries is my new BFF. Whatever that is doing, I'm home. I feel like I've come home. Okay. My Mars is in Aries, as well as my MC in the ninth house that rules higher learning, spirituality, travel. My career is synonymous with travel, philosophy, higher learning, and teaching. Right. And then my Jupiter
Yeah.
is in the 10th house in Taurus. So I'm here to be very public about that. So,
Yeah.
and you said this in our last one, the Neptune in Aries was going to almost like activate the spiritual leaders in the public eye. And
Yes.
boy, it's happening.
Yes. It's like there was a karate chop. Like there was a karate chop moment where it's like we broke the wood. You know what I mean? Like that's just what I'm seeing because it's like the Aries energy and the spirituality were like, hello, Mr. Miyagi, right? It's like we're like, okay, we're getting ready into this. We're karate, like the karate kids are growing up into the spiritual leaders now, which is our generation. It was like the late 80s, 90s. Okay, I think before we even do April, we just have to talk about a quick March because March was the crazy ass eclipses. That's when we had the eclipses that were in Pisces, Virgo nodes, and then it was in the last one was in the Libra and Aries, which did happen in April. But it's like we shifted into this and then everything was going retrograde. So that's when we had Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde. Like all of this was just happening all at once.
Yes.
And it really took everybody through a storm, on so many different levels, even myself included. I had a huge launch within my business. And then right before we were about to get started, I ended up getting really sick. And it's like, this is
Yeah.
a very Piscean type of thing where you're like, I don't know what's going on with me, and in Pisces too, because Pisces is water, it's like we could actually get sick through watery, quote unquote, type of things. This could be like an injection. This could be a drink. This could be an emotional thing. This could be that we're retaining a lot of water and super bloated, or that like things are just coming in and out of our bodies, like there's a lot going on. For me personally, I had an IV that actually made me super sick because it had something I didn't realize was in it, and then I had an adverse reaction to that made me feel literally like I was seasick. Like this is like the most like Pisces type of thing that we could have happen. So we all got through that. And literally everyone shifted in some way or another during that, where I feel like that was the storm. Then April, it was like, okay, we're coming out of the storm. What do we do with this now? So
Hmm.
it's like that was the integration season.
Yeah.
And the thing too is like because it's Aries, Aries is always like, okay, how do I go? How do I make something? How do I do something with this? And so for some people, you might even still be experiencing some type of burnout right now because Aries, that's the shadow of Aries, is it's like it does too much and we have to then be like, I have to rest or I have to catch
Totally.
up. But this Neptune moving into Aries, it's like we're kind of out of this like wishy-washiness, so to say. And it's like, I think for a lot of people, both of us included, obviously, it's like, I can see clearly now, Neptune's in Aries. Like we like
Literally.
into more of that. And of course, Neptune is still always going to be a little bit hazy and confusing, but Aries is bold. So it's like, this is really the time of like, let's commit and decide we're doing something, and Neptune will be on your side.
Mic drop. Um, wow. That was so beautifully articulated as always. And you're right. I mean, because the eclipse energy dipped into April. There's no doubt. Because I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, yeah.
when two eclipses hit in a month, it's gonna trail off for 2 to 4 extra weeks. Like, let's call it what it is. Plus,
Mhm.
eclipses events from eclipses happen over the course of the 6 months after they happen, right? It could happen immediately,
Exactly.
it could happen in, August. So
Yeah.
I think what's powerful about this time is a lot of the light workers and warriors are being called up because a lot of them have still been in their ego and their
Hmm.
fears and their wounded inner child. Hi, it's me. And I think that what's important to know, finally, finally, for all of us to really know, Nat, is we really are the leaders on this planet, and we're going to be recognized for that.
Yes.
It's
Mic
about
drop there.
it's about damn time, Lizzo. So what I want to say to all the light workers and warriors that are watching this, because every single person who's watching this is a version of that. What I want to say to you is your time has come. I know the dark nights of the soul have been nearly killed you. I know that the pain you've had to alchemize for your ancestral line nearly killed you. And I also know that the heartbreak you've had to endure in that body has nearly killed you. And what I can tell you right now is it's all about to be worth it. Now, April. I believe and was shown that April quite literally kicked off the 2025 to 2027 3-year cycle we are in. Who said that?
Yes.
Many channels have channeled this, that it's a three, we're in, particularly right now, we're in a 3-year cycle. Remember, Earth and everything in the cosmos lives in seasons and cycles. No matter how linear and logical the humanity wants to be, it's all a season and it's all a cycle, and divine timing is at play, and no one really knows when things are going to happen. Okay. So
Hmm.
2020, 2020, that year, remember that one? To 24 was a, how many years? 5 year cycle. Okay. And that it was a 5-year cycle of so much darkness clearing out and alchemizing from the Earth's grid, which of course dips into humanity and dips into our individual life journeys that we're all on and then how we all come together. So 25 to 27 has been shown as being an era that the spiritual leader rises, right, in the public eye. And then more and more and more and more, like hundreds of thousands of millions of people are going to spiritually awaken, some of them all at once. Because many of the people that have awakened before now are the leaders. You have to go first to be a leader, right? So April, quite literally, they showed me was like ground zero. It was like, here we go. We're starting from scratch. Let's go. And again, we're starting from all the places we built up to, right? But when you get to the top of a mountain and then you're at the bottom of another, that's what we're at. But instead of being at the bottom of another dark night, we're at the bottom of our rise in the public eye. And the question's going to become, Nat, from the spiritual side of things, is how many people are going to stay in integrity as they get more money and power and fame? Because
Hmm.
that's why I'm so public with my community. I very well know I'm here to be well known. I've known it
Yeah.
since I was a child. I struggled with it and I've now made my peace with it because I'm not
Yeah.
going to fail my soul or the divine, right? And we
Yeah.
know that money is not bad and fame or being publicly well known, of course, isn't bad. That's how you can affect change. What we do with it and how we let it get to our little wounded ego is the moment before us. So that's my perspective on April. And I feel like I'm the best version of me today. I can't even believe how I feel every single day. I'm discovering what it's like to actually live from a place of loving yourself because you know my journey with that. Whatever I completed with Neptune and
Mhm.
Pisces over the course of those 14, 15 years, cleared any self-hate out of my system. It was gone almost overnight. So, talk to me about your experience in April, like in your life, whatever you feel called to share, and then like your perspective as an incredible astrologer on how April has netted out.
Oh my gosh. April has been a life-changing month for me as well. It is so next level. So yeah, I mean, I'll just tell the whole story. I
Yeah.
got really sick where, in March, it was literally the last weekend in March. I think it was like March 29th. I live in British Columbia. I went to Vancouver because I was like, I need to go celebrate this big launch that I just had and I need to be in the
Yeah.
joy energy. And I took this supplement. It was called inositol that is supposed to support your cortisol because I kept
Ah,
having these hormone issues, right?
yeah, we've talked about that.
And yeah, and as I was having these hormone issues, it was almost like the moment that I heard someone tell me, your hormone levels are like a 71-year-old woman post-menopause. And I swear it's like that did something so messed up to my subconscious that then it was like it started to act that way, where then I was like getting bloated. I couldn't sleep. I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning every single night. It was this whole thing.
Wow.
So I go to Vancouver. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like take the supplement. I actually even drove from Canada to Seattle that
Yeah.
weekend because I needed to get this specific supplement that doesn't ship to Canada. Drove like 6 hours. It was this whole big thing, right? I go to Canada. I take it that night after a concert, and I was so sick. I was up in the middle of the night, vomiting, dizzy. I felt
Oh.
like I was seasick, like drunk. It was awful. And then a
Oh.
couple days later, I healed, and I had to stay at this hotel actually because I was like, I need to stay and rest and recover. And I went and got an IV, and the doctor was like, hey, do you want this stuff that helps cortisol? And I'm like, sure. She pumps me with the exact same supplement. And I didn't even realize this. Yeah, it was horrible. So then on top of that, I get sick again, but this time I have no idea what's going on because I didn't realize that it had it in there. I literally went to urgent care. It was this crazy story. And there was this moment where I was like, is this how I'm going to die? I actually thought I was going to die
Oh
because
my
I was just
God, babe.
out of nowhere. Yeah, yeah. And I share this though because it was like, this is also the shadow of Neptune, where sometimes these like very murky things can happen and we have no idea, but it
Why?
forces us to go into the deepest level of surrender. Where I was like, I know my time on earth is not done yet, but take me, God. I literally was saying that. I was like, I am so sick of being sick. I am so sick of having gut issues, hormone
Yes.
issues, these things that have plagued me literally since, honestly, I'd say like 2012, which was actually when Neptune entered into Pisces.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. 13 years ago. Yeah. So it's like if anybody has been going through like weird health issues, weird emotional issues, you're like, I just can't get this thing, or I know
Yeah.
that this is karmic. It probably has been the Neptune in Pisces energy. And now we're out of that. And so it's like, okay,
Wow.
if you do the work, if you do the deep work, if you also come back to yourself, because the biggest lesson that I learned from all of this was that I needed to stop giving my power away to
Yeah.
other practitioners. I had to stop being
Oh
like,
yeah.
supplement do I take? What doctor do I see? What healer do I see? Which is what started for me actually in 2012. And I literally, I went home. There was an amazing woman named Christy Nault who has this microdosing company. And I was like, the mushrooms are calling me.
Yep.
And I've never microdosed before psilocybin in my life, but there was something in this where they were like, come to mama. And so I went back home to California. Within 15 minutes, I took in, it was like my entire nervous system could relax. I laid on
Yep.
the grass, I guided my body, every single thing. And
Wow.
now it's been 3 weeks of doing this. And I just feel like it's been a glow up since doing this because it's forced me to come back into slowness, which is very Taurus on brand, come back into my body.
That's
And
right.
it's like, hey, you cannot be a spiritual leader if you're frenetic. You cannot be a spiritual leader if you're like, I'm doing this thing, this thing, this thing. I have this client, I have this thing going on. Like, you can't be all over the place. A spiritual leader is focused, is present, is connected to the earth, is connected to their body because we are human. We cannot just be channels. Like, everyone's like, oh, I'm a channel, and they brag about that. But it's like, no, you are a spirit and a human body, and you need to honor first your body. You need to honor your light body. You need to honor all
Hmm.
of this. You need to clear your energy. But if you are not walking every day, if you are not eating real food, here's a fun experiment. Take a little psilocybin and try to eat some junk food. You will be like, what the
Growing
hell
up.
is this?
Right.
Right? Yeah.
Right.
It's like your body is like, no, but then you eat something real and healthy and delicious, and your body's like, oh my God, it's like a orgasm. But then and that just helps you to rewire. So we are in this place of coming back home to our bodies because Aries is the first sign of being physically fit, of being connected to the body. It's number one. It's like the human comes first. And so that is what this
Self.
Neptune is doing for us, is it's also not just bringing us back into like, I'm an initiator, but I am
Yeah.
first a human, a physical form, a warrior-ess, and I'm coming into my body.
We know what I'm gonna say, right? Mic
Am
drop.
I?
She is so freaking mic droppy. Okay, this
I'm
chick.
a mic dropper.
You
I
are
love
a
dropping
mic
mics.
dropper.
Do you
Always,
love
darling
dropping
baby.
mics, or is that just me?
Darling baby is a mic dropper. So, yeah, well, this is a big discussion.
Juicy.
Um, thank you for sharing all of that. I'm so sorry you navigated that, my love. And you brought up such a good point about surrender and like these things that happen to us, happen for us, to us. They happen in a mysterious way, but eventually the answers come, but they might not be conveniently coming right away, right? And I feel
Yes.
like you're going to keep unraveling what that did or is, but you're right. The high level lesson there is, and I'm just coming off of a very hyper masculine day and I'm tired. I'm kind of over it, right? And you just illuminated something so deeply for me, which you always do, of the spiritual leader cannot be burnt out. The spiritual leader can't even do 4 meetings a day. The spiritual leader
Hell no.
maybe has space for two. And
Yep.
as a projector, it's coming online more and more. I was just texting my friend Jackie about this. I'm like, dude, my body just stops now. 333. My body just stops now when it's done working, which as a projector, you maybe have 4 solid hours a day, maybe 2 to 4. And then
Yeah.
I'm also a 1-3 emotional projector, right? I got a Pisces moon and North Node. Like I am rising into being a lot slower, right? Just because we can
Yes.
doesn't mean we should. Just because I have this
Yes.
Sag Leo capacity to go doesn't mean I'm going to anymore. And my body now is stopping me. So when you said like your body is speaking to you and the body has to come first, you're so right. And what better season and sign to talk about that than Taurus? And even like
So,
the summer in general, I feel like we come back to
yeah.
ourselves, we come back to play and fun. But I think we're all going to be tested because a lot of spiritual leaders are entrepreneurs and they're hustling still. And the thing
Yeah.
about hustle is like, it's one thing to be book you're writing and to be have genuine flow inspiration and you're up till 1 a.m. writing. And like, those are joyous moments, right? You probably will be tired, but you know that like good tired, one of the best feelings
Satisfaction.
I've been going to this park that's in my hometown because that's where I'm staying right now. It's a block away, and we used to go there when I was young, and we would tire ourselves out. We'd play basketball, we'd run, we'd be in the field, right? Running,
Yeah.
running, when you were playing with your friends and the good old days. And like, that time, or like you swam all day in the pool,
Oh,
those
yeah.
times when you were young, when you were like actually bone tired and like came home, ate, and went to bed, but like so happy. I'm
Yes.
channeling and manifesting that energy into my life. I want to be active again in life, not screen, screen, screen. My eyes, I'm getting headaches now. I don't get headaches. I just had to lay down right before this call for 30 minutes because I had a headache here. I don't get headaches. Okay. So now the corporate America is now hurting Lolo's body. Well, I'm going to be out then. And I say that publicly. Like, I'm not burning myself out. And I just told the company I'm working with that. Now you guys are going to hear me say it publicly in this episode. I'm not. Okay. And this goes back to being unafraid. Okay. Because one of the things that we have to overcome when it comes to scarcity consciousness, and especially what's going on in the American economy with these tariffs, I just channeled this in a live that, of course, like 5 people saw. So let me say it here now. The higher realms told me that the tariffs and this whole dynamic right now in the world, right, is a stopgap moment to further pull humanity into an illusion that certain powers that think they be, and the higher realm said think they be, not be, okay? That was a funny moment.
Mm-hmm.
That so that people think they're in control of the flow of money, okay? So if
Mm-hmm.
you think your company is in control of your money and the flow of the money that can come to you, you're in scarcity, okay? If you think Donald Trump controls the flow of money, you are in an illusion, okay?
Completely.
Because the
Completely.
divine controls the flow of money, aka the vast, limitless consciousness, cosmos, and that we are connected to the infinite consciousness of the divine source, God creator. So I'm telling all y'all, and I'm telling anyone I work with in the future now, my body, my health comes first. Okay. My family comes first, my partner, my children. Money, if you're alone and you worked like a dog your whole life and you end up with a bunch of money, but you're alone, money ain't no good without other people to share it with. Okay.
Oh
So
my God.
I
Yeah.
think what's happening after this April 2025 moment, the eclipses, is a reorganization of humanity's priorities. Now, everybody has free will and gets to do what they want, but you and I are saying the same thing, Nat, in a different way. We have different priorities all of a sudden now, like really. Because you and I have known for years we have to take care of our body and do these things. It's one thing
Yeah.
to know that and hear it and work with mentors and coaches and nutritionists and blah, 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 blah. Okay. But when it anchors into your cells and then you yourself choose, and wish on a star. I'm calling on the divine and my higher realms or my higher realms, my higher spirit team and my higher self to be like, do what you got to do spiritually to get this body in a good spot. Like my human can do its thing, but we doing the stuff we do in our physical is a tiny piece to the whole experience here. There's a lot you can do when you work with the energetic realms. So that leads us into Taurus season. And really not just Taurus. I want you to talk about May because obviously we're going to be talking about May now, but Taurus dominates a good chunk of that. What's happening in May astrologically, wherever you feel like starting, we're ready because like I told you before we started recording, May feels like love, pleasure, beauty. It feels like illumination month or something.
Yeah, it's literally all of the above. And, I think that coming back to this place of like, this is my body, and it's like finally all of the codes are dropping in. It's like, how long have we all been in this energy of like, I'm trying to lose the weight, I'm trying to get my gut health good, I'm trying to, go to bed at 9:30 p.m. or whatever the thing is. And it
Right.
has felt so hard. I know for me, like, probably since I was, I don't know, like, in my late 20s, I'd be like, okay, I'm trying to do health stuff. And it just like wouldn't work for some reason. And we are actually at the end of that because
Mm.
Saturn, coming back to Daddy Saturn. So we just had Neptune move into Aries, right? Now, I freaking love Daddy Saturn. Daddy Saturn he's daddy, okay? He is going to make you learn the hard lessons
Uh-huh.
and you're going to get the best reward in the entire world when you appease Daddy Saturn. You just got to say yes and open up, like let's
Yes.
go. Open up to the possibilities of
Of
Daddy Saturn.
course. Of course, we'll do whatever, Daddy. So anyway,
All
but
right.
you're right.
So in
You're
in
right. You're right.
it's true. In 2023, in March of 2023, Saturn, it's Daddy Saturn. Listen, we just can't say it's like
No,
we
now it's
can't do
Daddy
it for
Saturn.
him. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
do it without Daddy. So Daddy Saturn went in to Pisces in March of
Yes.
2023. Okay. So
Oh, I know it.
I know you know it. I know it. It's like we kind of all went into this thing where it
Oh
was
my
like, ooh,
God.
we're going into some type of underworld, right? And
Oh yeah.
some type of like deep shedding. We all had to shed. There were mystery illnesses, mystery relationship, mystery situationships, like friends falling out, like all the things, job stuff, whatever.
Lot of
And
lies. Lot of
now that we
lies.
are
Lot of lies.
all the lies, hold on, let's just take a moment. This is the time that so many people, honestly, the majority of my friends do not drink alcohol. So many people quit alcohol.
Yep.
So many people also have been revealed. Let's look at Diddy, Jay-Z, all of these celebrities. It's like there is not a veil necessarily anymore because we're like, we know who you really are now. Like the truth has been exposed because Pisces is the illusion. So the celebrity energy, the influencer energy, even a lot of the influencers are also being exposed, or these people who are like the shady
Not
entrepreneurs.
of
Stuff is
integrity.
happening, Yeah, yeah. And so now Saturn is at the very end of that. And since April 8th, we've actually been in this energy of Saturn, North Node, Venus all together. So it's like the things that we want, we're like learning those hard lessons in destiny. And Saturn is also like, and you better learn this, bitch. Like it is making sure that you are learning it to master it, to then move through it. And then on glorious May 25th, mark your calendars, exactly 1 month from now, this is when Saturn also moves into Aries. So there is
Oh,
a whole new energy of what we are here to master. But I will tell you, it might not be pretty because Pisces is the illusion. It's like, I don't know, I'm just going to suffer
dreamy,
by myself,
dreamy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be in my bed and
Yeah.
suffer. Aries is like, let's effing go, like bring out the brass knuckles, bring out the truth, bring out, like, we don't know what's going to happen in the US, to be honest, too. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, Trump keeps declaring World War III. Well, this would be the energy for it if it does happen. But this is also where we have to look at what is the lens that you are looking through everything at? Are you looking through fear? Or, like you said earlier, which I'm obsessed with, are you looking through the divine of yourself? Are you trusting in source energy that you are good? Because this is where the light workers, it's like we have been in prep and
Oh,
now we are out on the fields. right? It's like the platoon is here, the battlefield is
Oh,
here. Let's
I'm ready.
go.
I'm ready. I know I look
Let's
soft in this outfit, but we know the last episode. You guys
know who
know.
she is for real.
You guys know the warrior lover here. But I will say that I can't wait to see you next to me. I keep seeing this clairvoyant vision of us in like helmets. And
Oh my God,
you're
the like really hot ones.
you ready? And that's the thing. I think people hear these jokes about like we're in a spiritual war and the planet's purging out all this shadow, and they don't. And I want to ground this in because, first of all, Saturn and Pisces being done sooner than I thought. I did not know that actually. I thought it was
Best
later.
surprise ever, right?
I am surprised and I am delighted, bitches.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
normally say bitches, but I just said it. Um,
yeah, well, it's Aries
I
energy.
have been through hell since March 2023. Some people in my life know what I've been through. Oh my God. I have never been through so much pain in my life. Okay. And I remember I found a paper that I had written. I think it was from some of your content and a few other astrologers when Saturn went into Pisces. Of course, I'm writing it. Oh, this will be interesting. It's going to hit my eighth house, North Node and Moon. Little did I know it was going to get real dark, like
Dark.
darkest I've ever felt. 23,
Yeah.
parts of 23 and all of last year. Last year was January to December was a dark night of the soul for me. And there were high points, but let's be honest, I was high functioning during a dark night, which we do. So
Yeah.
with Saturn moving into Aries, oh Lord, boy, there's lessons for me now in this ninth house. God, it just keeps
But you know, the
following
ninth
me.
house, listen, this is the thing. The ninth house, I have my midheaven in the ninth house too. So
Yeah,
here's the thing is the ninth house is like, okay, the eighth house is like the tornado. You're in it. You're literally like, oh my gosh, like my arm just fell off, like my toe is off, like things are being blown up. I don't even know. You're like, what is this? It's literally like that's the war, that's the battleground.
right.
And where you're also just like, I'm depressed, I have no clue, I'm alone, I'm sad, I'm in isolation. Do I
Yep.
want to live anymore? Like it's real. It's real.
Oh,
But
it's very
then
real.
the ninth house is okay, now we integrate.
Yeah.
And integration, here's the thing is that integration can actually be fun, especially if you're like, I'm going to call in my sisters, I'm going to call in my friends, I'm going to have dance parties, I'm going to like,
Do
sing
it.
and dance and make this enjoyable. And that's what we really have to do with Saturn and Aries is like, how can we bring in play? And how can we master being in play again? And not just like, I call in this and I release this, but it's like, okay, let's go, let's have fun, get the bonfire out, get the bitches dancing, like let's play, let's get it big, like Aries is here to shine and Saturn is like, can you actually show yourself? Can you reveal yourself? Very similar to Sag and Leo, Aries is fire, be seen.
Oh
This is
yeah.
the time that we all are going to be here to master being seen, and we're going to have to go through some of those lulls to be like, ooh, what's all that I got to uncover of what is fearful that's living in me of going first. Going first is a big one. I used to be so afraid of going first, and then all of a sudden I learned that in a leadership program where I was like, wow, I always go second or I always go third. Like even if it's just a silly thing of like, can you, when you're in a group program or something, can you speak first? Like practice going first, because that is you saying, yes, God, I'm ready to be the leader, right? And that is what Saturn in Aries is going to be asking us to do.
Right.
Again, back to our body and really being committed. We cannot be in any of the like, I don't know. It's like,
Yeah.
no, you choose and you go when you're committed. That's when the magic comes in and chase excellence. This is a time to chase excellence.
Mic drop. Chase excellence. That is my
Hmm.
favorite phrase. Plus, it's a code for something else. That's cool.
It's
Chase
totally a
excellence.
code. Chase excellence. And I'm going to tell you something. There's someone that I went on some dates with up here because we're just going to talk about dating too. Why not? And he actually has his Saturn in the eighth. Okay. So
Oh,
it's me for all the fellow Leo risings out here who just went through this and who were at the very tail end, literally 30 more days, baby. Countdown is on my phone.
countdown is on.
Yeah, like this is the energy of Saturn in the eighth, is that there is like a deep need to be excellent, but a deep need to release and go through literally all of the dark nights of the soul to uncover all of the trauma and to
Yes.
honestly accept trauma,
Yeah.
to accept it as a part of human that we can't live in
That.
light all the time, right? We
That.
have to live in darkness sometimes too and
Do.
accept the darkness. love the darkness, but still we are chasing the excellence, even if it's we're moving through the mud.
Oh my God, that was so divine, babe. Like that makes my heart warm when you say that because
Me too.
if we
Thank you.
cannot accept the dark trauma we've been through, darkness we've been through, darkness around us, maybe it didn't affect us directly, it was indirect. Darkness we
Yeah.
witness our people we love go through, right?
Yeah.
If we cannot accept that unfortunately Earth still is and has duality, it might not always be, it won't be always like that. It's going to come back into balance fully and there won't be any duality potentially. But that's a long ways away. So I think that the challenge right now for people is that have been through hell in this eclipse season because the level of people I've heard about or have told me directly, their life overnight fell apart. We know that's what eclipses do, but Nat, this Aries Libra final push did something different. Okay.
And let's do a quick dissection of that because Aries and Libra is about the self and the other. And when you
Relationship.
think about like what our world goes on, we're all obsessed with relationships. We're all obsessed with love. We watch movies that like condition us to be like, I should be this and I should be this and I can't be too much of this, or I want to be
Right.
skinny, or I want to be, this. In order to get this, I have to
Get
be
this
pretty
to
to
be
be this. I
loved.
have to
Yeah.
be beautiful to be this. I have to whatever. And it's like that shattered or gave us the opportunity to shatter illusions about the truth of self. And a lot of people could not handle that.
No.
And that's why.
And on top of, that internal struggle people have with what those energies brought up in people, people externally did terrible things to others.
Totally.
Deep, dark manipulation, lies, deceit, betrayal up the ass. Betrayal. Okay. And betrayal is a spectrum, right? But I think that when you talk about accepting the darkness or accepting what, betrayal's there. Like it's a real thing. And there's self-betrayal and then there's betrayal from others. And they're both dark. I mean, self-betrayal is probably even worse, right? And so there's this energy I can feel for myself even now of like deeper commitment to my career, to my mission, to the people I'm here to be with and be in co-creation with. There's a deepening right now, and May through the rest of the year feels like this deepening. And I think Saturn in Aries is going to almost like, because like you said, Aries is always the self. It's the self. It's not concerned with other people. It's just how that energy is. It's going to mirror,
Totally.
it's going to mirror you to you. So it
Yes.
feels like, and again, tell me what you think. It feels like with Saturn and in Aries, there's also going to be this theme of like, okay, you set these goals or commitments with yourself. Are you going to keep them? And Saturn's going to be like, I'm going to force you to. If they're
Yes.
in alignment with your highest timeline and highest and best. Once you
Yeah.
ask the divine for your wishes, you have to show up every day expecting them to come, right? Not this manifesting isn't, I asked and we'll see. I asked and maybe. It's, I don't know where that came from. It's, I asked, I wished, I I made a commitment to this. It is happening. So how am I preparing for the day that drops in or they drop in or it drops in? How am I
Yes.
preparing for my business to blow up? How am I preparing for my divine life partner, my beloved? How am I preparing for my children that are about to bust in here? How am I preparing for the house that would like me to live in it and buy it? Okay? Because those are some of my wishes, guys. I just said it publicly, okay? So, how am I every day committed to my higher spirit team, higher self, soul telling me every little move I have to make to prepare for that reality to drop into the 3D because it is going to, whether I'm prepared or not. The issue is if I'm not prepared, I'm going to self-sabotage it. I'm going to fry energetically. My mental space is going to go haywire. My body's going to suffer because receiving all that we desire is a lot harder than we think, my loves.
Oh
Because
my gosh. Yeah.
when you have lived a lifetime like me of unworthiness to all of a sudden receive your beloved in your arms, okay, to, get everything you desire practically overnight. My life has that energy. Like I'll get everything almost, it's like when it rains, it pours on the bad, on the dark side and on the light side for me. There's no in between. And I do hope for a period of equilibrium here, but I've been in such a desert the last few years that the universe is like, and now it's time for you to go to your fountain. The fountain is here of, blessings and the desert is over. So I think a lot of spiritual leaders go through extremes like that. Like we're here to like look
Yeah.
at the body stuff you went through in April. I'm not even I'm devastated for you and I'm also not my soul's not surprised because literally you contracted to like be a leader and go through shit like that and then
Yeah.
teach what that even means, but also what you do with that now.
Yes.
And
Yes.
how do you not live from fear now? Because that's the other thing. Notice what Natalie said and like how she's integrating it versus like, oh, is my body going to do that to me again? Because then we manifest it, accidentally. So
Mm-hmm.
talk to me about that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's so true. And I mean, it's this component of like, you have to go through things to wake you up. And that's what it was. I was
Right.
like, still, here's the thing is that I was doing all the right things, like eating so well, going to bed early,
Yeah.
whatever, doing the supplements. And then it's like, I needed something so deeply, though, to shake me up to be like, you have to actually come back to you. And to me, I honestly believe, to be honest, it's like my body had to go through that level of hell in order to get to the other side of heaven. I really look at this as something that was like, you are now being thrown into the depths. I thought that I was at the lowest of low, and it's like, nope, the pendulum is swinging. So you have to go to an extreme measure that you've never been at before. And for
Wow.
me, I had to look into doing something totally different. For some person, it might be like, oh, I needed to go to hypnotherapy or I needed to stop drinking alcohol. For me, it was like I had to really tap in and be like, okay, show me what I need. And honestly, the guides showed me microdosing psilocybin. And
Yeah.
I
Hell
was like,
yeah.
I
Hell yeah.
it's just something. And it's crazy because, a year and a half ago, part of my Saturn eighth house was like I was diagnosed with ADHD, which really made me
I get
understand
it. I get it.
I was so many ways that I was, and I would beat myself up for this, and I would have falling out with friends, and I couldn't complete projects, and I was moving all over the place in all these different cities and dating all these people. And it's like
Right.
when I learned that, it was sad, but it also was a relief. And the moment that I sat down with these beautiful microorganisms that are growing underneath the earth, and I said to them, please help me with this. Please help
Hmm.
me with sleeping. Please help me with my gut issues. Please
That's
help
so
me with
beautiful.
all of the wires in my mind being mixed up with this, quote unquote ADHD that is a very real thing.
Very real.
And within a matter of days, so my phone died. I kept my phone off for 5 days. And it was like I came back to life. I
Oh,
came back to me. I journaled everything. I chat GPT therapized myself. Like I did so much work that it was like this blessing that instead of me being like, oh my gosh, what if my hormones are messed up again? And what if my gut,
right.
I get sick again? It's like, no, you will not because you found the remedy. The remedy is turn your phone off at, 9:30 p.m. The remedy is go on 2 walks a day. The remedy is eat 3 meals a day and don't work more than 6 hours a day,
Boom,
right?
mic
Like,
drop.
and, if you're like, hey, I'm really excited to do this project or I have a lot to do, break it up. I'm a
Break it up.
generator. Break it up. Do a little here, but don't try to sit there and stare at your screen all day. And when you can listen to your body, you will trust your body. And instead of being at war with your body, you become best friends with your body and you know your body's got you, but you have to listen. It's just like God. And you have to remember God created your body. God wants you to thrive. The universe wants you to thrive. The universe doesn't want you to be sick. The universe wants you to live in your abundance, but you have to actually listen to the call in order for that to be brought to fruition.
Oh my God, that was so divine as fuck. Also, you said when you
DAF, baby.
when you listen to your body, you trust your body, mic drop. That like my body went, yeah, do you hear her? Do you trust me? So, wow. Wow. That was let's just have a moment of silence for the queen.
Let's just actually breathe into our bodies.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
actually take
breathe.
a moment,
Let's do
like
it.
everyone listening, let's just like put your hands on your
Hell
heart if
yeah.
you want, your heart, your gut,
Mm.
whatever, your womb, and just like listen to your heart for a minute. Take in one more breath. And that right there, that slowing down for 5 seconds, that is what Taurus energy is about. And that is how you actually manifest is by slowing down and spaciousness and creating from there and from knowing you have a beautiful, abundant body and you are meant to have a beautiful, abundant life to match that.
You. Wow, that was so beautiful. Thank you.
Mm.
I am so happy that now the audience has seen what a beautiful facilitator you are, because you are, and a beautiful holder of space and instant shift when my voice has changed, right? And I think
Both
that
dropped octaves.
the lesson really is, why don't we allow ourselves to slow down? What do we think we're going to miss? What do we think is going to happen that we're going to miss? Or like you said, this morning I have a project I'm working on that needs to get out today, but I'm not done, and I've been breaking it up into different parts. It's exactly, projectors need to do that too. And
Yeah.
so it's also an interesting thing to just think about the breath. And I know people make fun of the spiritual people that talk about your breath, the breath, but it really is the fucking breath, yo. It is.
Yeah.
It is the breath, because the breath and the blood in the body is what keeps the body going. And if those two things are not doing so well, then everything gets affected. But I always think about blood and breath, right? Circulation. I walk, you should see me. I'm like a mall walker out there. I'm walking all day, every day.
Oprah Walker, like the ankle
The
weights on.
neighbors are like, there she goes again. I
Oh
just,
my God. Okay.
I just
Here's something.
circle.
Here's something hilarious. As you know, I'm trying to become Canadian. I've been so I'm a California girl through and through, and this is my first winter. So
Oh,
I like,
oh,
yeah. So I'd be like, where am I going to go walk? I didn't have my walking
right.
pad, which I would have. So there would be days in February that I'd literally go to Safeway and just walk through the aisle. And I'm like, they're like,
Solution
I'm
oriented.
like, yeah, I'm like, I'm just getting my 10K steps in, to don't mind me, like
They're
going
like,
on a
what's she
run
doing? Is
down the
she buying
aisle.
anything?
I'm like, I can't find the kale.
I'm looking for the garbanzo beans. Anyway, I don't
Yeah,
know
where's the
why.
organic goji
Am
berries?
I supposed to eat garbanzo? Also, aren't those chickpeas? Why did I say garbanzo beans?
It's the same
Okay.
thing. I
I
don't
know, but
know.
it's funny that I said the full name. Okay. Maybe I need to eat those probably. My guides are like,
Yeah, you're getting a call to the
I'm
like.
seeing a nod. I'm like, okay, I'll eat them. So anyway, talk to me about the rest of May, because obviously another highlight, which hits you a lot, my sister too, she's a Gemini moon, is Gemini season kicks off.
Yeah, baby. Yeah,
Talk to me about that.
baby. So yeah, let's go. I mean, it's fun because it's like we go from Aries where it's like fire, heat, hot, and then we go into Taurus where it's like slow down, and
Yeah.
then we go into Gemini where it's like, wait a minute, let's have fun again.
Eat up.
But let's do, yeah, let's like and Gemini season is such a great time. So it moves in on
It
the
is.
here, the 21st. So as it moves in the 21st, it's like take really everyone please take advantage of Taurus season and slow down, get your shit together, get your structures, get your finances good, get your house beautiful, like
Yep.
move in, get some flowers, make sure you did your spring cleaning. And then we go into Gemini and it's like, okay, now that we've done the spring cleaning, now we're like back on our fitness routine. Now let's play. Now let's communicate. Now let's like have the social gatherings. Now let's
Yes.
network,
The
dance into
parties.
the moon, like this is really the time to have fun, to connect, and also to be curious and to explore. And I think there's something too that, sometimes doesn't get talked about as much in Gemini because we're like, it's fun. But like, we have to remember Gemini literally is the duality, it's the twins.
Oh,
And so it's also very normal that if you're like, you know what? I feel really sad today. I feel like I want to take a day in bed. I feel like I need to take a day off of actually being social. You have to
yes.
honor
You have
the
to.
other twin that lives within you that is like a little bit introverted. Like
That's
it's
right.
okay
That's
to
right.
be out and about all the time. And I would even say, honestly, during Taurus season and during Gemini season, I mean, let's be real, during the entire year, take a slow down from social media. If you are a creator like myself,
Oh,
get on, post, connect with your people, whatever, but do not live. I remember there was a content creator one time who was like, post and ghost. And I actually
love
love
it.
that.
Yo, yeah.
Like,
That's what I
post
do.
your thing, right? Post your thing, be on there for
Goodbye.
another minutes, like respond to your people, say hello, whatever,
Yeah.
honor your community and
Community.
con yeah, it's community. And remember what social media is. It's a tool. It is not a lifestyle. It is not a brand. It is not telling you who you need to be. It
Oh
is a
no.
little silly thing that could be gone if you throw this in the lake. It's like it doesn't dictate you. And I think that because we're at the end of Jupiter and Gemini, as we're in Gemini season, there's going to be this expansion where you can either be
Oh.
like, I own my nervous system, or your nervous system is going to go wackadoodle and own you,
Yeah.
right?
Mic
That's where we
drop.
got to also really come in, own your nervous system. I want to give you a breath work to put into the show notes. There's a
Okay.
breath work I've
Oh,
been doing that's
amazing.
amazing. It's this woman named Shiva Rasa, and they're
Oh,
beautiful.
bring her to me.
Like, yeah, oh my God, you will love her. Goddess vibes. And it's like 10, 15-minute morning breath work, highest self breath work, but it is nice because it's not crazy where you're getting like the
Right.
tetany or whatever, but it's just a nice flow to do
Get
every
it
day,
out.
every other day.
Yeah.
Really during Gemini season, we have to focus on our nervous system and that momentum.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting because Taurus season, it rules the throat. Taurus is the throat chakra. And so it's like this is the time to actually open up your voice, and then Gemini is the time to use your voice.
I love that.
Mhm. It's like we're unlocking and undoing anything that's been like, oh my God, I'm not enough. I can't say this thing. I'm scared, right? Like undo that BS during Taurus season. And then in Gemini season, you have the balls to get out there and actually say what you want to say, make a difference, bring community together,
That's right.
speak your truth, speak your piece, and allow others to do the same.
She gives us all those codes and routines and practices. She grounds us in for us, y'all. And that's why astrology is a game-changing life practice and science and all the things, you know. But you'll be proud. It's funny the way the dates uh happened, you know, my mentor always says, funny how? And I say, funny, amazing. He's like, what do you mean by funny? Don't he is such a stickler with me with every word I say. He's like,
I
hey,
love that.
that's a spell. Why are you saying it like that? I'm like, what?
Ooh,
He calls me up, Dr. Lauren. Oh, shout out Dr.
Lauren, let's
Lauren
go.
Michaels Harris.
Yeah.
He's a famous speaker. He's a powerful man. So anyway, I just thought of him. Funny how? Anyway, I am doing a photo shoot because we need updated photos. Mine are a little old. I mean, they're not that old.
Yeah. Me
And
too,
it,
girl. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm doing it in May. I'm going to San Diego for a few weeks and I'm reconnecting with an old photographer of mine, Ariel Levy. Anyway, the date is May 18th, and that's the date my rebirth party was in 2023. Something about 518, yo. But obviously that'll still be, I think, in Taurus season, probably almost Gemini, right?
Yeah, well, it'll be in Taurus season. Okay, 518. I'm just doing quick numerology for you. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 is freedom. 5 is Leo. 5 is where your sun is. Boom.
Guys, she
Let's
just gets me. She just knows me.
That's like your number. Like I know you have other numbers, but like
I
5 is one
know.
of your numbers. Like 5 is totally one of your numbers.
Hey, five, fifth house where my sun is. That's the only planet. That's what's going to
Yeah,
make
that's
me
what
the
I'm
most
saying.
happy. My
Yeah.
sun is in the fifth house. It's where I'm going to be the most happy. Romance, children, creativity, sex, play. That's my destiny in this life. So anyway,
Self-expression on top of it all. And then it's like
self-expression.
a umbrella of it all falling down there.
Yeah, hyper creativity. And so, I'm excited for that. And I feel like, again, this is the time to pour into yourself, do like refresh things. I always feel in Taurus, well, probably because Jupiter in Taurus, 10th house, but it tends to be a space where a lot of career positive things happen for me. And I spend time in career things, whether it's photo shoots or creating. It's not a passive time. To me, it's actually quite active, but it's active in a Taurus way, like in a restful pleasure. Spaciousness is the code of this episode. That is
Yes.
it. And I just love that word because I feel like it really expresses the feeling and the energy of our environment and our day-to-day routines. Like I want to wake up early. I'm an early bird, there's no doubt, but I do not
Sure.
want to work for a while. I don't want to work in an ideal world until 10 a.m. So I wake up at
Yeah.
like 5 and I want hours and hours with the divine, with Mother Earth, with my lover, with myself, walks in nature to your point, journal, cacao, all the things. And to me, Taurus amplifies this period of like really luxuriate in every single present moment and practice you do. Like when you make the cacao, if you're stirring it, revel in that moment. When you
Mm,
finally pour it, when you're pouring it in the cup, I was making it this morning, top of mind. When you're pouring it in the cup, revel in that moment. Ooh, this is a good
yes.
quote. When you're bringing it to your nose to smell, revel in that moment, right? Revel in the moment. This is my code for everybody. Like, we need to start honoring, to your point earlier, this divine ass life. For all the problems that we face on earth and that are ahead, honestly, the divine's got it, we got it. And at the end of the day, when we emanate out joy, we solve a lot of the problems.
Oh my gosh. That is literally the code right there. You cannot manifest without being in joy. And literally our third key code of Taurus energy is pleasure is productive. Whatever pleasure looks like to you, if that is you're pleasuring yourself, your yoni, if you are pleasuring because you're like, I look gorgeous today, you're pleasuring in the cacao, you're pleasuring by laying in the grass, you're pleasuring by being with your friends, or you're also saying, how can I even take pleasure in this moment of work because I'm so grateful that I have a job that's paying me,
Totally.
right? Like we
Totally.
switch into pleasure and also not be in the obsession and also learn when to stop. Learn when to stop with the things that aren't giving us pleasure and know that pleasure will find you if you are open to it.
It's so beautiful and it's perfect, and I think at the end of the day, the rest of this year is going to have these themes. Like I know we're talking about May, but we're
Yeah.
being asked to hold all of this, guys. We're being asked to do life completely different on earth. And if you're a leader and if you resonate with being a leader on earth, you have to go first. And you're not going to get validation from everyone around you. You're not. The culture wants us in the old. Okay. And so the leaders stand out like sore thumbs. And I know that can be painful to be the sore thumb. But honestly, you're really just a flower blooming that's brighter and taller than the old ways. And I don't know how else to say it. It just is. A lot of the ancient souls that came here to do this dance, obviously you and I are two of them, we forget the hits we take, whether it's energetically, I'm in meetings with people, I can feel I want to say, you can't lie. I literally can smell the fact that you're triggered by me, but that's fine. And I say that with love, like, but I feel like we're in this, thank you. They just said you guys are entering a time where there will be no hiding. No more hiding.
Mm,
No more hiding that you're triggered by people and people are going to call you
yeah.
out, or they'll just
Yes,
know and they know they can't trust you, even if you're trying to make them trust you. There's going
totally.
to, to your point earlier, the leaders have to be visible. We have to be seen. There's no more hiding, but they keep saying no hiding, guys. You can't hide anything anymore. Divine justice is at an all-time high and it's going to be the rest of this lifetime. Karma is going to manifest in the lifetime from events people do and actions people do now, good or bad. So, everyone, the more in alignment we are, and to your point, think about it. We don't say mean things. We don't do not nice things when we're not stressed. Like stress,
Yeah.
the nervous
Yeah.
system is the leader in the body, at least, right? The soul leads everything, but the nervous system is in charge. And to your point, like I couldn't believe just now after this day and some of the drama I dealt with, I had a pounding headache in my left side, my feminine. It's like, I don't want to work like this. Why are you making me do this? You know?
Totally.
And I'm thinking, well, this is what they're requiring. And then I'm like, and I say that with love. I really do because I'm grateful for all the people I get to work with, but I'm changing. And it won't serve them either if I can't work the way they need me to, right? And so it goes both ways because I think often what we have this whole plan in our life of like how long we're going to stay somewhere or do something or the relationship we're in or the job we're in or the company we have or the business we own or the routines, the house we're going to live in. And then
Yeah.
our soul's like, haha, make plans and yeah, you're going to be out of that sooner than you think or
Yep.
that's going to change quicker than you think or your body's going to go through something that's going to really make you because I can feel my body Nat right now. I'm saying this, documenting it. My body's like and I'm like, yes, yes. And my body's like, do I need to get louder? And I'm like, no, no, no.
Exactly.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah. And that's what it'll do. It's like, how loud do I need to get for you to listen? But the thing is that sometimes, and I feel like this was like my thing, is like we are trying so hard, but we don't even know what the thing is. And I will tell you for everybody, The thing is silencing the noise. The thing is getting off screens. The thing is getting into nature. Eat more protein without being like, I gotta count my macros.
Right.
It's like do your thing of what feels good to you, but eat real food. Don't be eating the like whey protein bars and all these like bullshit foods,
Right.
like eat real food.
Real food.
Like if you like go back to like what was I doing when I was 5 years old, for those of us who are of the generation where we weren't living on iPads when we were children, like come back to joy, come back to reality of like without screens, without phones. That is when magic happens. That is when you are healed.
Mic drop. Joy is the sorry. These spirits, they don't have any boundaries. I mean, and Joy is the name of somebody important in my spirit team. And she just busted in and was like, "Yeah, me, yo." And I was like, "Oh, well." So anyway,
Joy? Oh,
Joy,
let's go.
baby.
I want a spirit guide named Joy. Can she come talk to me?
We love her. She's very epic soul
Joy.
and very special to me. So I am so grateful for my Natalie. She's darling baby to me, but not y'all. Just kidding. She can be darling baby to you. Um, any closing thoughts on May? Any advice, words of wisdom? You've given us everything you've got. You
Oh
always
my
just like
gosh.
over deliver, and I just love you for that. And thank you for
Oh,
giving so much to our audience because it's ours, babe.
I
But thank
love
you.
it. I love it. I think the last thing is we just have to also know May 12th, full moon in Scorpio. Okay.
Oh,
So
great.
yeah, we forgot about that little detail.
Oh yeah.
But here's the thing. We'll do a tiny little like fun thing with this is that Taurus, the reason Taurus and Scorpio are opposites is because Taurus is about the pleasure and the earth, and it's like, let's go slow and let's just be grounded. Let's also be logical and practical, right? And Scorpio is like, but I want to fuck you. Like, I want to be dirty and I want to play and I want to like have the intensity of life. And Taurus is like, can we just chill? Can we not talk in the car while we're driving? Can we just listen to music and look at the scenery, And Scorpio's like, let's rev up our engines. Let's go for it. Let's understand why do you don't want to hear me talk, right? So it's like there's this potential what do we want to call it? There's a boiling. There's like a boiler that's living within all of us. That's
Yeah.
like the water is heating, the pot is like coming up, right? The water's about to boil. So it's a great time though that you have to still remain calm in your slowness and
Yeah.
allow whatever is going to come up to move up and out and through you and know that this is one of the deepest moons of alchemy. And the reason why we're in Taurus, the reason why Taurus and Scorpio are that is because Taurus is actually really able to hold it down, while Scorpio is like, I'm coming up out of the water and being this like sea monster dragon to
Yeah.
move it through. And Taurus is actually more of the masculine energy, even though
Hold
Taurus is
it.
feminine.
Hold it. Yeah.
Taurus is holding it. Yeah. So it's like when you go slow, when you slow down, when you are grounded in yourself and your routines and your bedtime and your eating well in your practices and your energetic hygiene, oh my gosh, so important, right? Then all that Scorpio alchemy can move through. And the highest version of Scorpio is power. So it's like this is actually a lot of power that's able to be transmitted, but you must be grounded. You can't be a shaky radio station over here for the powerful sound to come through, right?
No.
Think about when you're on the radio and it's like, right? It can't be staticky. You got to be strong. You got to have good service. You got to be rooted. Then the power comes through.
Mic fucking drop. Also, new moon in Taurus this coming Sunday, April
Yes.
27th. However, this episode will come out after that, but people will be feeling the effects next week.
Yeah,
Do you have anything you want to say about the new moon in Taurus and what it might activate in people this month?
totally. I mean, it's the same vibes, right? Let me actually pull up the exact chart really fast. Let's see
Okay.
here.
What's funny is my Venus is in Scorpio in the fourth house,
Uh-huh.
and it's weird. I'm going to be in San Diego during that time. So, what are you trying to do to me,
Yeah,
divine? I'm
it's
seeing
very
signs.
interesting.
I'm seeing signs for San Diego everywhere again. I'm like, come on, come on.
Wow.
They're like,
Wow.
oh, you can run, but you can't hide.
Very interesting.
It's
Did we
so,
look at your
uh,
what's your energy there? I forget. Is it Pluto?
Saturn's near there, but remember, it's all about the mirroring and the relationships outside of me.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. Interesting. Well, it could also just be a time that you go back. You know what I mean? I feel like you'd probably still have like some type of home there anyway at some point. So, okay, this new moon is going to be at 7 degrees of Taurus and it's squaring Pluto. Woo! Okay, so
Whoa.
what this is doing, and it's oh yeah, baby, and it's also squaring Mars. Let's go. So this is like there's actually a lot of energy that is kind of like we're ready to go out, we're ready to do the work, we're ready for this,
Mm.
and this is again where you can't go too fast because Mars wants
Right.
to come in, it wants to activate, it wants to make things happen.
Go.
So my advice for this is like think before you act because there's going to be a component where you're going to want to just like do things and make things happen, or it's going to be this sudden falling apart potentially. Or if we take it on the other side, it's this sudden arising of like, ooh, I had this idea because I sat down, I breathed, I tuned in, and now I can really tap in and create from a
Yeah.
place of power and love and my heart. Because if we honor this Mars and Leo, the shadow of Mars and Leo is um, massive ego, right? It's also like you betrayed me and I'm the best and like this is mine. It's very territorial. So there could be some of those feelings coming up of like this is mine. I don't know,
Oh,
but we have to
possessive.
get really
Possessive.
we're possessive, exactly. And so when we go from our heart instead though, and we go from being like let me be deliberate and slow, and really it's like WWGD, what would goddess do? Like, what would goddess do in this situation? Lead from that and even take time
Love
to
that.
really slow down. And because we have, again, North Node, Saturn, Venus still in conjunction, the energy that you put into manifesting money, love, clients, relationships, house, whatever it is that you're looking for, this can truly, truly pay off for you. But again, our word of the episode, spaciousness. Give yourself that spaciousness to do so and believe. Really believe. And I love how you broke this down about wishes. Wishes are so real, like it's wishing and it's also giving it away to God, to universe, to source, to goddess, and living in the preparation because Taurus is here to prepare. So prepare for this thing coming in and it shall be yours.
You're perfect. That was perfect. Thank you.
Perfect.
That was the most perfect place to end. Thank you for your I have to say, your sage came out in this episode. Like I could feel your ancient soul energy in this episode more than others. Like more than even times I talked to Natalie a lot. Like you just that part of your soul is really coming online. Do you feel it?
I do. And it's
Babe.
because I've slowed down. It's because I'm drinking my own Kool-Aid, everything that I'm telling you guys. And there's a lot, I've been
Yeah.
like where I say the thing and you're not practicing it. And it's not on purpose. Sometimes it's like you literally
You're just
can't,
in a
right?
season. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like I swear to God, if this psilocybin has I really bring it to this. It's like
Oh,
this
it's
has
everything.
forced to slow down. And because what it is, it's earth medicine.
That's
It's
right.
earth.
And if
When you take
we
the medicine of the earth, it's gonna earth you. It's
and
gonna
you're going to
ground you.
feel safer in the body and safer on earth. We have to feel safe. House of Low, a sanctuary for the soul. We do not feel safe here. It's why we do terrible shit to ourselves and others. So, like, I mean, we know the studies, right? It turns on 50,000 bajillion more neurons in the brain than are normally turned on. Psilocybin is not, it can't be categorized as a typical psychedelic. Okay. This is not, and again, back to intention, which that's what we teach and we call everybody up in, not out, up in to. If you are doing psychedelics to escape Earth, you're going to be in deeper shit.
Oh my
Mic
God.
drop. I'm just going to say it. If you are doing ayahuasca to escape your pain versus, of course, the medicine's going to go, here's your pain. Would you like to look at it? Because I got it for you. But if you're doing mushrooms to, zone out and see the swirls or whatever you think you're going to get, Mama Mushroom has something else for you. Okay. Because
You're
people,
doing
people go
ketamine
through
to
dark,
like,
people
yeah,
go through dark nights of the soul. What I will say, because I do the chocolates, really enjoy the chocolates, and obviously that's a form of microdosing, although you can do a lot. Like I've done a good amount before. You should see me. I know you'll you'll love it. I'm like channeling full-blown business plans. I know you're not surprised. I'm like, okay, you're gonna start a music festival. Here's the name of it. Blah blah blah. Like, the, the higher realms are like, here she goes. Because one of the greatest gifts I have is creativity and innovation. Doesn't mean I'm gonna do it all, but if
yeah,
you need an idea, I'm your girl. So
yeah.
anyway, but I find that, what's the Ram Dass quote? If we sprinkled psilocybin around the earth, everybody would be happy. We and treat each other very differently. I fucked up the quote, but the point is that the mushrooms, it's funny you bring up mushrooms because they called me last year. I've never done a deep, deep
Mm.
ceremony. Lord knows I can be sober and do that. Not that you're
Same.
not that you're
Mhm.
not sober, but you know what I mean. Because you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you are using something. We're using something
Yeah,
to assist us, right? To open up.
totally.
It's just a consciousness opener. That's all it is. It gets you in your heart. Psilocybin is
Totally.
one of the greatest gifts because it literally gets you in your heart.
Yes.
And
Yes.
for the time you actually are activated on it, you see everything through your eyes, through the lens of the way the divine sees everything. Love, love,
Exactly.
love. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, this is the truth of who I am. The ego's dead for a second. Shit. How do I live this way without this? And, that's the work. That's the mastery, right? Oh, I love this little tidbit on mushrooms. So they called me last year. I would see mushrooms everywhere, statues. I'm like, and B, my friend who's a medicine woman, she was like,
Huh?
so she's calling you. Are you going to answer?
Oh my God.
So
I have to show
anyway,
you what I got.
oh, I love it. There you go. There you go, baby. So
Exactly.
this medicine for people like you and me, it calls you. Like I didn't seek it out. And we're not people that want to numb out, right? We're willing to sit in the Saturn hitting my moon suicidal thoughts sober. Like
Totally.
I don't escape. Like I've been in dark nights of the soul. Best believe I'm not drinking. I'm not escaping at all. All I'm doing is laying there on the couch like, am I gonna live? Like what's going
Yeah.
on? So
And that's what Saturn does.
that's what Saturn does. So again, I just want to round out this conversation with do you guys can you guys see that Mic Drop Sundrip is a very different show? We talk about real here. We talk about suicidal thoughts, okay? Which is very normal on the spiritual ascension path, okay?
Yeah.
The soul knows Earth is one tiny planet in the cosmos, okay? The soul, when it's in pain, and the body when it's in pain, the human when it's in pain, wants to be out. Okay. We're going to talk about joy and pleasure here at the same time. We're going to talk about the full spectrum of the human experience, which is what we're all, we hit those edges of, and that's the other thing. Like, how can we receive the beautiful light side of the spectrum? Okay. Because receiving love and joy and pleasure and money is a whole other practice. Can we receive all these wishes that we ask the divine for? So may Taurus season bring all our wishes to fruition and this or something better, baby. But thank you for today. I love you, my darling baby. Thank you for all the value you gave today. And just fucking thank you for existing and coming to planet Earth.
I love you. Thank you to our souls for reuniting and being these
Thank
Leo
God.
rising together.
Thank
This was
God.
so good. Have the best Taurus season, everybody. Go slow, touch yourself, touch someone else, eat a lot of great things, and yeah, aho.
Aho. I love you.
Love you.
Thank you so much for listening to Mic Drop Sundrip. Join the community at houseoflo.co/micdropsundrip. And remember, without truth, there can be no light. And without light, there can be no power.